Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Riding with country bass, country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Two turns.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah, yeah.
Feeling like $1 billion. Yeah, couldn't give $1 billion. No, I've been stacking big money. Yeah, so now your boy is up.
Yeah,
Pull up in that Helen. I bet you that she coming in. Come on, you can't pay these vibes. Live a life, only leave the crib for the dollar bill.
dollar bill now.
Only the crib. I done took the orange pill.
Took it, I'm gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, baby, jumping location. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, you know that I'm a bad, bad. Girl, I know you want it bad, bad. Ooh, baby, jumping location. Baby, jumping location. Ooh, you know what I'm a bad, bad. Girl, you messing with a bad, bad, yeah.
I love it when you drop it low.
We can come fast, we can body round for me, baby, yeah.
So bend it over, touch your toes.
Girl, bring your body, come to me, run to me.
You are way
The way you do it, girl, you're such
Pull
a
up in
pro.
that colorlin'. I bet that shit coming in, yeah. Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah.
Only leave the crib for the dollar bill.
Dollar bill now.
Only the crib. I done took the orange pill.
Took it, I'm gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, baby, jumping location. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, you know that I'm a bad, bad. Girl, I know you want it bad, bad. Ooh, baby, jumping location. Baby, jumping location. Ooh, you know what I'm a bad, bad. Girl, you messing with a bad, bad. Yeah. I'm if you tell him about life. I'm on my journey. I'm on my journey. Nothing can hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see it from afar, enemy lurking, yeah. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. My heart is like a murder scene. Yellow tape around the hate and I can't let you in. Tunnel vision, try to see it like at the end. I know they hope that I win, yeah. But I'm praying on my knees so I see better days. Hope he break me, I'm a shell, I'm trying to spread my wings. Trying to fly away, do better things. I remember all them days they told me that I can, yeah. Ain't nobody more important me than me. She said she feeling me, but right now I'm just trying to eat. Right now I'm just focused on a chicken. My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business, yeah. My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business. I'm on my journey, nothing can hurt me, can't hurt me. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. Nothing can stop me, haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey, I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal, I can see you from afar, enemy lurking, can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah.
Coming from the 407, riding on the highway to hell. You better watch out, we shut them down, open up shop. Yeah, yeah, they don't make it, don't play. Don't play. You know how it goes down, standing 10 toes down. Yeah. Being stripes in the deal, but I ain't right. That's my life, and it is my time. Baby on my grind, she's always on my mind.
I'm on my journey, nothing can hurt me, can't hurt me. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. Nothing can stop me, haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Bitcoin Chris checking in yet again. Happy, what's today, Wednesday? Happy Wednesday, everybody. All-time highs for Bitcoin. Let's go. If you've been stacking, if you've been chilling, if you've been paying attention, man, it's all paying off. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. And make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And make sure that you're following me on Twitter because I'm always giving you guys the next levels of where I think Bitcoin is going, right? And then if anybody is doubting or think I'm capping, think I'm lying, right? Go back to the previous videos and just go see and go back through the previous posts on Twitter, and you can see that I've called these levels out weeks ago, and here we are. Finally plays out, right? So here we are. Let's go. Make sure you head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. Get your $10 free Bitcoin, and automatically you can DCA on Swan. I think they have 0 fees, if I'm not mistaken, still for the first 10,000 buys. You also can do it on Cash App. And then there's also River as well, is pretty dope. I prefer anybody that's new to the space, do not buy on Coinbase, in my opinion. I prefer that you would buy on, PayPal. Even PayPal is better than Coinbase. I'm surprised Coinbase hasn't even shut down yet. I'm surprised I didn't see any tweets yet, but I'm expecting that here shortly, right? Because anytime there's a new all-time high, we tend to have a Coinbase crash or the server overload because everybody wants to FOMO in and DCA and smash buy at all-time highs, right? Which is typically normal as human beings have these tendencies to do so. So excellent. I hope you guys are tuned in. Make sure you guys get that fold card as well. I've been speaking about that for at least 3 years now, 3+ years. If you guys have been paying bills, and paying for things automatically as you are. Most people have things coming out of their bank account automatically, so you should have that automatically through your debit card of Fold. Fold is also going to be having a credit card coming out. But I mean, if you can get Satoshis or Bitcoin because you are paying your bills anyway, then why not get that Fold card, scan that QR code in your upper left or right hand side of this video, or just click the link in my bio and get the card. I think you get like 20,000 Satoshis if you use my link. But yeah, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. We're going to jump right into the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price. We're looking at the daily chart here. We have the green dot. As you can see on Sunday, we did come back down and retest here. So nice little wick action to clap up all the late longs. And then now we have just been pumping since Monday, right? Or since Tuesday, that was yesterday. All right, so since Tuesday, we have pumped. We have pumped, we have pumped. So again, the next target on the Fibonacci is 118. But again, I think that my target, as I've been saying, is 120. Because I think once we start to squeeze the shorts, which I'm pretty sure they're getting clapped up right now, that will continue to squeeze higher. Our second level is 130. So 120 to 130. 164 is your 2.618 level. So that would be crazy. And it is going to probably hit there, after doing some consolidation and retracement. I expect us to head higher as well. So I'll leave this up as I've always done. And this is your daily Fibonacci levels for Bitcoin. So we're at 109. 109, or the highest, 109.5, and we are at 109.252. This is Bitstamp. Let's go to Coinbase. Let's see if I have my Coinbase on here, if I have anything drawn on Coinbase. I do have a flag drawn on Coinbase, and it is 114, 115 for the next flag. Look at that, playing out. First flag played out. This flag. Popped out. Flag. So we're just popping. We're popping. Look, let's scroll down to the 4-hour time frame. If you guys were on Twitter looking at the tweets, I've been giving you guys updates for the last couple days. I said, hey, we did pull back here once we did hit the high of 107. Pulled back, clapped up all the late longs. And then we got the green dot here on Monday, 12 o'clock. And ever since then, we've been pumping. So you have to remember, a lot of people start to go long at highs, and the exchanges can see that, right? And the whales can see that, right? And so what they do is, as soon as you go long at the highs, they dump it, liquidate you, get your coins, get your money, and then they send it, right? So keep in mind, this is what happens pretty often, right? So that's the 4-hour time frame. We're looking at the 2-hour time frame right now. Green dot on the 2-hour, we had that at 8 o'clock this morning. And as soon as that green dot hit on the 2-hour, started to pump. So that's that. We're looking at the 2-hour time frame. Let's look at the 6-hour, looking good. 12-hour, looking really good. Let's look at the 1-hour. I'll put another alert here. It's great to chart on Coinbase because a lot of the volume comes on Coinbase. I don't even have volume up on my chart, but a lot of the volume does come from Coinbase, as BlackRock is buying from there, and everybody's probably going to be buying from there. As far as institutions, however, I don't like and I don't recommend you buy from there as a retail investor, quote unquote, because again, they tend to stick it to the little man. So we're looking at the 30-minute time frame. Looks like we're starting to build out another little flag here. So I would be careful. I'll put an alert in case we drop down below that 108. And I have an alert here if we come above the 109. Support would be around 106. So if we did come back down to 106 before heading higher, I would not be surprised. We have your RSI and stochastic RSI heading down a little bit, but we do have crazy momentum. We had the green dot at 930. Let's see what that's looking like at the 930 mark. As soon as the market opened, we pumped on Bitcoin. So boom, pump, retest of the 20-day moving average. And here we are. So that's that. And let's take a look at MSTR because you know if Bitcoin's pumping, MSTR is pumping. I'm also going to look at, oh, I guess I was wrong. MSTR is dumping. But I need to go look through some of my old videos when I said I'm expecting us to head up to around 400 when we were down at about around around the 300 area. MicroStrategy. Let's zoom out here because we're zoomed in pretty close here. We're looking at the 1 hour. We're bouncing at the 20-day moving average on the hourly time frame. As you can see right here, looking like it's getting ready to bounce. Your high right here, local high is 423, local low 406. So that's looking pretty good. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame for MSTR. Also looking good. Highs is 430, local lows 389. Looking pretty good. However, we could dump due to, MicroStrategy. You know, selling to buy more Bitcoin. So let's go to MSTY. Let's look what Misty's doing, and then Planet. What's that new? Not new, but what's that one stock? Planet something. All right, so we're zooming out here. We're looking at the 4-hour time frame for Misty. Again, my Misty target is up here at the 35 to $36 level. We do have entries at the $20 level. We're now at the $23 level. If you guys were paying any attention to what I was saying months ago, I said you guys should consider getting 0% interest credit cards or getting a loan or getting, doing something, right? Doing something where you can invest and putting money into a vehicle where you can receive some income, right? Receive monthly income. So that is your Misty opportunity. Of course, there's other opportunities out there that provide other opportunities out there that do provide dividend incomes, but I like Misty because it pays, I think it's 100% or 90% of your dividends for the year, and they pay out every month, and it's based on MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. So why not go that route? Do whatever you want. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion and what I would do. Right? We already went over the daily time frame and looking at the the levels and the patterns here that we see here. So it would make sense for us to retrace all the way back up to previous highs around the $46 level, which would then be a 100% increase on top of whatever it is that you invested. So for an example, you put 100,000 into Misty, for an example. Not only are you receiving dividends each and every single month for your investment in Misty, then your 100,000 would then turn into 200,000. Then you would be spitting off. Then it would be spitting out your dividends at 200,000 versus 100,000, for an example. And I already went over this in a previous video. Go look that over. Not going to spend too much time on that. And then it was, let's see what what is that stock? British just talked about it, and they've been buying Bitcoin as well. Meta Planet. Let's see if we can find Meta Planet. All right. I don't even know Meta Planet's ticker. Hope y'all are doing good. MTPLF. MTPLF. Whoa. That. That's the make it up. That's actual service provider for it. All right, cool. All right, so Mike, Meta Planet. There's no way this thing was just $3. There's no way this. Oh my God, there's no way this stock was just $3, guys. Look at the daily time frame. The stock was just $3. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 500% in a couple days. Freaking, just go from the beginning of the month. 354% since May. Looking down here, you see your green dot would have been your indication to get in. We do have a little bit of a retracement here, but if you just would have held on, as you should, everything is long term. Everything should be long term for you in this particular scenario as investing in your portfolio. You should be looking at things long term. You shouldn't be looking at things short term unless you're trying to trade short term and that is your goal. So 354 on Meta Planet. I would definitely look at wait for a pullback and then hop in. 16x if you want to get technical, right, or a little bit less than 16x. If you got it at $1.70, $1.50 to $16 was the high. Now we're at $14. So cray, cray, cray. So shout out to Meta Planet. That's what happens when you adopt a Bitcoin standard. So shout out to any and every company buying some Bitcoin. All right, let's look at DXY. We'll go back to Bitcoin in just a second. DXY dumping, McDumping, but we do have a green dot here, but looks like it's going to continue to turn over. We had a few weeks of pumping for the DXY, looking like it's a little bit of a flag, bear flag, and then we continue to dump. Let's zoom out. Daily, as you can see here, we have our support here. Hopefully we can break second round of support, second level of support down here in that gate. So that is your break that way. Come down 96, 95, 93, 91. In that order. All right, we looked at Misty, we looked at MicroStrategy, we looked at PXY, we looked at Bitcoin. Go back to Bitcoin again. Looking pretty good on BTC, as you can see here. If you just want to win, some feedback there. We'll turn that down. All right, cool. So Bitcoin's looking pretty good. Weekly, you could have got in April 23rd, or even after that crazy pump, right? You could have got in on this flag that I drew it perfectly. So it pops out of that flag, boom. Breaking a high. Money printer go. What's that? Let's just say you both got in at the highs. 25% times 30x leverage is what I like to do, right? 30x, 25x, 25 times 30x, 750%.
as an opportunity since April 20th or April what? What's that? April 22nd. As an opportunity, guys. Bitcoin's going to pump, right? So why not hold a long, a little small position, hold a long, and make some money? Why not? All right, let's get back to the Bitcoin price, and we're going to jump into CoinGlass right now as well. So let's see what the liquidation levels are looking like. As I'm sure there's a bunch of late longs trying to get in now. 30-minute time frame. Looks like we're building out that flag, like I just said. So let's continue to keep our eye on this, or let's jump right into the CoinGlass for some data here.
All right, so CoinGlass, let's bring you up. Let's look and see what these, dang, $309 million liquidated from the exchanges. That's crazy. All right, let's look at liquidation. Let's look at liquidation map. All right, here we are. 30-day outlook. We have a ton of longs, which is not good, guys. And it lines up with my prediction that we dump on the Bitcoin conference like we do every single freaking year. We have almost 20 billion in longs to be liquidated at 93,000. So keep that in mind, that we definitely could head lower before heading higher. This is over the last 30 days. Let's look at the 7-day. We have 13 billion at 95. Let's look at the 1-day. 6 billion at 96. All right, so let's go to the opposite side here. Let's look at the shorts. We still have 2 billion shorts at 120. Look at that target that I was just telling you guys about. The target is 120. 119 instead of 120 a second ago. There it is, 120. 2.29 billion at $120,000 Bitcoin. So we could possibly slap up all the rest of those shorts and then go for the longs. So just keep these things in mind. Take profits if you're trading. If you're holding for the long term, be aware and be careful. We do see here for the longs on the 7-day, it's going to be 2.91 billion at 119. Sorry for the shorts to get clapped up, 119 for 2.91 billion last 7 days, and then 1 day we're looking at 120 as well. We got 2 billion, 2.44 billion at 120. So, and then we have again 6.4 at 96. So again, I didn't even this is my first time looking at this data, guys, but it all correlates and it all makes sense when you start to look at the targets, when you start to look at liquidations and levels and all that good stuff. So I use all this in conjunction to formulate my analysis and to trade and to DCA, right? So if I know they're liquidating everybody down at 96, I'm looking for 95, 94, 93, right? To DCA if that's my prerogative, right? That's my goal. Might not get down that low. We do have 91 here, 91,023 billion. So, just be on the lookout and just be aware that these are your levels that you want to be aware of. Set alerts and DCA at these levels because it's possible that we can head down lower before headed higher. All right, but 120, we got a bunch of people still 2 billion to get clapped up, but obviously we have a lot more, 23 billion at 91,000. So just be careful if you are trading Bitcoin on exchanges. The levels, we already know that that's continuing to go down. So there's no need to look into that, as you should be stacking up your Bitcoin regardless and making sure that you are DCAing no matter what the price is, right? So we're gonna jump into some tweets now. Let's jump into some tweets. I know that I shared some tweets here I want to go over with you guys. Dark hair don't care. Blonde hair don't care now. All right, cool. Let's jump into these tweets real quick. 11 hours ago, told you guys we're about to pump. I've actually been, like I said, sharing with you guys these levels for a while now. They're building your replacement at your job as we speak, and majority of you guys do not read, let alone read your contracts or your agreements and understand the law and understand your rights. And the times are wow. And again, I've already went over this, guys, with you guys. I did a video on how, we already know what's coming, right? You should already know what's coming if you have that intuition, if you're wise enough to understand what's coming, right? It's gonna take some time, but it's coming, right? iRobot, Elon with the robots and with the self-driving cars. We already went over this. We went over this a while ago when he first dropped the news, right? The Tesla events that he does, right? So this is the robot from iRobot back in 2007. When did iRobot come out? Let's double check. With Will Smith. Let's look at that. iRobot 2004. I'm sorry. iRobot came out in 2004. So here you have the robot and the robots in iRobot looking quite similar to the robots that is being built by Tesla. So they got them cleaning up now. They got them taking out the trash. They got them doing a bunch of stuff. They can already do things like forklift work, and they're over here trying. They ain't cooking, right? No, they ain't cooking. That's fake. Yeah, cool. I was about to say, if they cooking, yo, it's a wrap for y'all, man. Even if they do start cooking, man, they don't got finesse. I cook better than any robot ever on planet Earth, and I'm sure you could too if you know how to cook, right? Yo, can you just imagine like living in an age? It's funny because they prime us and they set us up right with the movies, right? But can you like imagine walking around and there's like robots that actually like are doing things and that are running things, and there's so many movies that are like subliminally programming us to accept it. So it's coming. It's coming. I hope you've been paying attention. It's coming. The point of me saying that is the point is you need to be prepared and to ensure that you gain a skill that cannot be taken away by AI, right? So make sure that you learn how to trade. Make sure you learn your contracts. Make sure you learn law. Make sure you learn something. Start a business, something, anything that a AI can't do. But pretty much they're pretty much taking over a lot of different industries. So we're gonna definitely take a look into that and start to get into that. All right, so let's see. I need some more votes on this. Do you guys think we dump at the Bitcoin conference, or do you think we pump? Everybody thinks that we're dump per usual. Majority of the people think that we're going to dump per usual. We only have 25 votes, but let's go ahead and continue to vote on that. I think we do dump as well. I mean, why would it? Why would it change? Why would it change? In my opinion, I always do two things that the Bible says to do repeatedly and every single time. Let's really. Let me reshare and then have the audio come up because I know what I do here. So
Getting the weight off and getting your brain moved into there's only two things the Bible says to do repeatedly. Like every single day, every single minute, every single hour on repeat, do these things. From the book of Philippians to Jesus in Matthew chapter 6, it's full of this, which the two principles go hand in hand. And neuroscience actually shows that this is what knocks out anxiety, this is what knocks out addiction, this is what keeps your brain healthy. And the two things, very simply, are prayers of gratitude. It's getting your brain out of the anxious portion and into the grateful portion, which neuroscience has proven you can't be anxious and grateful at the same time. And what it's doing is it's enabling you to get all that stuff in your head going on, all the fears, all the ambiguity, all the worries, onto Jesus. You lift the weight and you shift your brain, and all of a sudden the peace of God floods your heart, and you can move in the world in a way that you never thought was possible before. So it's saying repeatedly, every single day, master this, become a master of grateful prayers, getting the weight off, and getting your brain moved into the grateful part, because that's what leads to human flourishing. Now, this is simple, but this is not easy. And so I have a full platform of Christian experts that are prayerful, spirit-filled, that want to meet with you and teach you how to do this. There's a link in my...
excellent. Definitely want to be thankful, right? So, you gotta, a lot of these new age teachings and stuff, they get all that stuff from the Almighty, right? All praise to the Most High. So we have a 561% long. I'm pretty sure I'm much higher now. I've tried to log in. I can't even log in. My data's acting up right now. So, my trade is probably like 600% right now. So shout out to BTC Pamping. We're at 109.46. So let's continue. Let's continue down the timeline. Bitcoin already won. We already know that. I thought I removed this timeline, or this thread. I'm gonna do another thread explaining. Maybe I'll go over that today. Maybe I'll do security interest, guys. We're at 106 when I posted this. Now we're at 109, up 3,000. Make sure you guys go check out that Jeff Booth interview. Shout out to Jeff Booth for our pop incoming. And it came a day later, but it came.
If I didn't have the, you've got to assume that it's already happened. Mentally, it's already happened. If I didn't have the idea, my conscious mind, I couldn't talk to you about it. The very fact I can talk to you about it means that I've already got it. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. It's only a period of time till it moves into form. How does it move into form? Well, you attract whatever's required for it to move into form. You attract all the energy that's necessary to produce the physical result. How do you do that? You do that by intellectually and emotionally staying in the vibration of the good that you desire. You see it already in the present tense. So that keeps you on the frequency, and that frequency then dictates what you're going to attract. You can only attract to you what's in harmonious vibration with you. The trick is to stay on that frequency. Most people look at the results and they let the results dictate the frequency they're on. That's why they keep getting the same result. We've got to get on the frequency of the good that we desire. And we will attract it into our life just as sure as it's going to get darker tonight.
Shout out to Bob Proctor. Rest in peace, Bob. Rest in peace, Bob Proctor. All right, boom.
Fail. I'm gonna fail. Fuck you. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fucking fail. I'm gonna fucking fail. I'm gonna fucking fail. And I will succeed. If you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. When I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast. If you don't know how to fail, there is no victory. If you sit in failure for too long, you will never come out of it. So how fast do you get up from that? And you gotta teach yourself that. You may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, be like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. Fuck.
Great advice. that everybody should take advantage of and implement, of course. So I do apologize for the aggressive language here. So, but that's the kind of attitude you got to have, right? Winners have to be relentlessly optimistic, and you have to have that type of attitude where, again, you cannot let things hold you down and have things, stop you from moving forward. So, shout out to this tweet. All right, so here we are. If you're stuck because you don't have any money, watch this. We'll also watch this because it's only 43 seconds.
The rich trust their vision and doubt their fear. The poor doubt their vision and trust their fear. You think you're stuck because you don't have money. No, you're stuck because you don't trust yourself. You believe your doubts more than you believe in your dreams. Fear, it's lying to you. It's telling you to be careful, wait for the right time. What if you fail? But look around. Has doubting yourself ever made anyone successful? No. The rich get richer because they move despite fear. The poor, they let fear make their decisions. Your bank account doesn't tell me how much money you have. It tells me how much fear you've trusted in your life. So tell me, who's in charge? Your fear or your vision? The rich.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. I like to share the positive information and life-changing information. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe for me. We've been on the live stream for 41 minutes now, so make sure that you guys hit that like, share, subscribe if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. And we're pretty much going to wrap it up because that's going to be it for today's video. I have some things to do. Maybe I'll come on and teach more about a few of the things that I've been doing. I've already gone over a couple different, things. Oh, before I close out here. How to trade and not pay taxes, right? A trust. You guys should know, if you have not been paying attention to any of my tweets or videos, you please do so. Please go take advantage of the information. Go look it up for yourself and look up what a 508c1a trust is in the church and how you can trade tax-free and how to utilize the information to benefit you in your life, because by you, God is pretty much God, the Bible and God has given you to play. We just haven't deciphered it and we haven't really had the time to process what actually is being said. So what I'll do is I'll go through a couple of the tweets here that I was talking about the trust, because in the Bible it says give everything to God, and I'm gonna call coming in. Okay. It says give everything to God, right? Give everything unto God and God will take care of you, right? So what you're supposed to do, and how I interpret it and based on, other people that I, you know, learn from, you give everything to your church, which is the trust, and to God, and in return, the church will take care of you. And this is how you avoid lawfully avoiding and paying any taxes. You can set up your trust to allow digital assets to be traded, including Bitcoin. You can have your trust be set up to where you can pay for the church members and the Congress, the congregations, bills, et cetera, right? And there's my DMD. Let me put this on DMD. Of course, a call will come in at this exact moment. Of course, a call will come in at this exact moment. Let me make sure audio is good before I continue. Audio is showing that I'm good, but I just want to make sure audio is good before I continue, because last time I went on a nice little rant and nobody heard because of the audio issue. So let me make sure we Gucci. Let me make sure that we are Gucci. Gucci, hit that like, share, subscribe. Audio. All right, cool. We Gucci. All right, cool. So, guys, I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving you the play. God gave us the play, but nobody broke it down for you to understand. A lot of people think that the church is one way or a specific way, or that it's about religion. It's not about a religion. It's about the kingdom, right? You have to understand how to move and how to maneuver in this world controlled by the devil, because the devil's dollar is the US dollar, which I already went over. I went over a lot of the stuff in the previous video, guys. But I have to break this down because you guys need to understand a lot of people crying about taxes. If you just put your income, your revenue into the church, or give it to the church, and then allow your church, you can create your own church, guys. This is why they have all these crazy churches. And I'm not saying that um there's not people that's going to take advantage or, do the wrong thing. And I'm not telling you to do the wrong thing or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys how to look at it. This is how they have the Church of Science. This is how they have all these other different churches, because no one can tell you how to practice your belief in God, right? So what you can do is you can structure and write. There's power in the word, right? Power in words. So you can structure a trust without permission. No need to ask for permission for you to start your own church and to have a church trust, right? And to have your own living trust, right? Which I went over, right? So when you put your assets, or you give your assets to God, or you give your income to God, or you give your Bitcoin to God, right? And you are the trustee of the church, right? And then you have language and permitted activities, et cetera, that allow you to not only trade and to benefit the Congress members, the congregation, and the members of the church, or the trustee, or for benefiting people in general, right? Because God takes care of his people, right? So you qualify to receive the benefits from that. And therefore, because it is under a 508c1a exemption by default, there are no taxes, guys. You can move your house into the church and not have taxes because it's under the church, it's under the trust, and there are no taxes. These churches out here don't pay no taxes. I always knew that, but I never understood it until I started to read, and I utilize ChatGPT, and I do research, right? And I'm not talking about the free ChatGPT. Pay for ChatGPT, stop being cheap, right? And get the correct information so you can move accordingly. May 19th, 106. Told you guys. Most people are I don't know why I said are there. Most people are slaves. I think I did talk to text, and this always does this. Pay taxes and do what they're told, and would never look to find out anything about a 508c1a trust and why it's so crucial to setting you free from the matrix. Because if you understood that you can do what I'm telling you lawfully, and you don't have to worry about, you can even open your exchange or transfer your current exchange into the name of your trust, and then have the trust take advantage and take the actions, right? And you, as the trustee of the trust, you have permission, and you're the one, over the trust, right? So you have the permission, and you have the power to transact and to trade and to sell and to buy and all that good stuff, right? So now, because it's under the trust, there are no taxes, guys. It's just simple as that. I'll go to the IRS website in just a second. Why does the back of the dollar say "In God We Trust"? Right? In God we trust. It's like a play on words, right? It's a lot of things that are said in the Bible that are just not broken down, or that we just don't pay attention to, or you know we're told one way in the world and it's the complete opposite way, right? Because everything that we've been told is a lie. As you guys know, we're in the matrix. These politicians prove it. You guys are paying tax dollars to a government agency, which is, we're at fault for this, in my opinion, as well, right? And of course, there's powers that be that are in charge as well, that are going to continue to do evil things regardless. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's also our fault because we pay tax dollars to a agency or to a government agency that has been spending money on um, um, transgender surgeries and stuff on animals like monkeys and stuff. All the stuff that we find out thanks to Elon with the Doge incentive and the Doge department of finding out where all this money's going, right? And nobody's been arrested though, right? No, none of these, nobody's gotten in trouble for it, right? So it's kind of like, okay, we learned all this stuff, but nothing really happened, and there's no consequences for it, right? So you're funding, you're paying for transgender books to be sent to Peru or wherever it is. You're paying for everybody's salary that doesn't even work throughout the whole year, right? For these politicians, they do whatever they want. They get money from us, they pay from us, and then they get special interest donors and PAC money, and they vote a specific and certain way. And you're also contributing to the evil, because by you paying your tax dollars, you're funding the devil's work. You're funding it, whether you know it or not, or accept it or not. Your tax dollars don't build roads. All right. That's not where the money comes from to build the roads. Okay. It comes from other things. Right. Yes, certain tax dollars and certain things go to certain things, like your social security and all that good stuff, right? And you can opt out of that as well if you wanted to. However, majority of your taxes are being paid to do a whole bunch of stupid and fraudulent and misappropriation of funds to by the government officials that we quote unquote elect, and we the people have the power, but for some reason the people that we elected have more power than we do. It's ass backwards, and we need to understand that and to wake up, right? So when you understand that, whether you know it or not, or accept it or not, you're a slave, and your tax dollars are being used to pay for a whole bunch of stupid ass shit that we don't need. Excuse my French, excuse my language. Paying for a whole bunch of stupid stuff that we shouldn't even be paying for, right? So when you opt out via a sovereign money, because you first of all, you're using the devil's money, which is the dollar, which is losing value, which is making you a slave by default, because you have to work for something that somebody else can print out of thin air and devalue your wages, right? Then on top of that, you're in a system where you're being taxed on the same money several times for every transaction that you buy and that you sell and that you get paid on. Everything is a tax, right? So you're getting smacked up a couple different times. You're automatically a slave by default, and because you've been so brainwashed and think that it's okay, nobody says a word, nobody bats an eye. But God forbid, we come on here and tell you. I come on here, other people. I'm not the only person that says that you don't have to pay taxes. It's voluntary system, right? It's a voluntary system. So if you don't understand that by now, keep paying your taxes and keep being a good little slave. All right, because I really don't care. I'm here to just provide the information for you to do your research, for you to then take that information and hopefully better your future and better your family. Because at the end of the day, I can only lead a horse to water, can't make you drink. I can only lead you guys to the information as far as Bitcoin. I've been talking about Bitcoin since 2017, 2017, 2018. You know, and people still don't buy, right? And I still get those messages to this day. Oh man, I should listen to you buy Bitcoin. Did you buy any? No, I didn't buy any. Why are you messaging me? All right. Buy $5 a day, buy $1 a day. Set up automatic DCA, buy $1 a day. You're not gonna miss that dollar a day out of your bank account. Right? You spend $1 and you spend money on stupid stuff that you don't even realize, right? Anyways, so you're a slave to the system, and so you want to opt out by A, using sovereign money and money that can't be devalued, which is Bitcoin, right? Then B, you want to make sure that you're utilizing a trust in vehicles that are going to save you from getting taxed so yeah, first you're saving yourself from using devalued money with Bitcoin, and then you're saving yourself from the taxes from the money that you do earn, whether it be from your job or whether it be from investments or whether it be from trading, example, obviously, like I just said, right? So by having your trust own these things, which is the church own these things, and you being the trustee over the church, and then you having language in your trust saying that you can move those funds accordingly and appropriate those funds to the church members or to anybody, because you're in the realm and in the field of helping people as God's God's people, right? We're all God's people, we're all God's children, right? So it's our duty to do good cheer and to help out and to give money, right? And to take care of people and to pay rent. I think I showed you guys the language in my trust, right? Where I have the permission to pay rent, to take care of bills, to make money, and to make sure that we help other people and the homeless people and anybody that needs to be helped. We have that language in the trust. So therefore, if they want to come, and I mean by the government or anybody wants to try to interfere, first of all, they can't, because it's the First Amendment, freedom of religion. On top of that, we have this in our bylaws and in the Constitution and in our trust documents that says we can do this. Therefore, there is no issues, there is no problem. And because it's a 501c by default, it's a church. They can't do nothing about it they can't do anything about it. But you need to know you need to know the power of that, right? Some people have 401ks. When you retire, you're going to pay taxes on those things, right? You're going to get hit, unfortunately, right? And I shared a little thread about that, how they take it's 1%, I think, over the course of 40 years or 40, 50 years or 30 years, right? It's a lot of money that they take out in fees and all that good stuff, right? So you got to be careful. And then why would you have your money in a 401k when you can just have it in Bitcoin, right? And then have control over it, and then have the Bitcoin be issued through your trust and have everything done that way, right? So that way there is no probate. That way there is no government agency or people in your business and trying to dictate and siphon the funds out and spending money and taking their sweet ass time with money that your family needs. So when you start to understand that this thing is a different way to operate, you start, when you know better, you do better. Okay, guys? So I digress on that topic, but we have to do better. We have to learn better. And God is your greatest gift. I'm not religious at all, guys. I'm human. You're human. That doesn't mean that you can't utilize and do what you can do. We're all imperfect, guys. We're all imperfect, guys. So if you can just take what you can do and do the best that you can do and, help people and learn about trust and learn about the law and learn about your rights, then you shouldn't be struggling. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. The Bible is full of wisdom, but we think the Bible is, we're so caught up in what the modern day society says about the Bible, and we're so used to doing wrong that when you see something that's right, you reject it. You're so used to paying taxes, when somebody tell you you don't even have to pay taxes, you reject it. You've been using the dollar so long, when we tell you the dollar is trash, you reject it, right? So, with that being said, I digress. I'm obviously passionate about this because I know how much it can help you. And you can only help yourself. You can only help yourself. Okay? Boom. Where we at today? Still looking good. The 19th, I said, hey, still looking good. Pullback happened last night, but still looks good. 105. Where are we at now? 109. All right, you can pay with lightning. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. Boom, 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 boom. Let's continue before I get up out of here. Interest is killing you because you're not educated, right? You can utilize the information that I'm telling you. You guys can watch this video. There's a lot of things that you guys can watch that I share that can help you out, but a lot of people just don't pay attention, right? They just don't pay attention. Or you're too busy working to do what you need to do, right? I started a church, a 508c1a church. We are a Jewish Christian church, which means we get the benefits of the Jew, because Jew is Judaism, and you come from the tribe of Judah. And God says that you are Jew inwardly, not outwardly, when you believe in Jesus and God. And so when you understand what's really going on, you can do things like start your own church, have your church have your convey your assets into the church, convey your accounts into the church, have the church take care of everything there for you. Even your business. My business, I don't need to register with the state. I can do a private member association. Anybody's going to be doing business with me, you're going to be doing it under the private member association. I don't need to register with the state. However, if you do want business credit, you want to do XYZ, certain things that you can do to register with the state, right? For business credit, et cetera, et cetera. But, for the most part, you don't even need to do that, right? You can have your business, you can do a member association. You can even have your LLC be owned by the trust, right? As well. There's a bunch of different ways to maneuver and do these things. But again, the church is powerful. The power of the church right here, May 15th. Put it in your trust. I gave you guys the information, but again, most people don't listen or pay attention, or you just bombarded by a whole bunch of stuff and you don't really have the time nor the energy to better yourself, which is, y'all got time for everything else, but to learn and read and to better yourself. So hopefully this information can help you. Hopefully this information will get you on the right track, and hopefully, driving through neighborhoods can motivate you to get on your P's and Q's and make sure that you are doing what you need to do what you need to do. Okay. I love driving through my neighborhood and looking and just, imagining all the amazing things that's coming, right? Because I'm able to read, learn, comprehend, and get it to where it needs to be. All right. All right. So with that being said, the right in law, in constitutional, commercial, and natural law, a right is not a request. It's a guarantee. Legal power or entitlement, they cannot be infringed upon without legal consequence. You have a right to practice and to worship however you seem and deem necessary. You have a right to bear arms, which means you are guaranteed legal power to have a pistol, AR-15, whatever it is that you decide, right? You have a right to remain silent. You guarantee that you don't have to speak up and incriminate yourself. You have a right to not be searched without a reasonable, articulable suspicion or probable cause, right? Or a warrant. You have a right to freedom of speech, even if it is quote unquote hate speech. You don't want to do that, obviously, but people gonna say what they want to say. We on Twitter all day. They talking about white power. You talking about all this stupid stuff, right? And, white country this, white country that, black people this, black like we're not colors. We're not colors, guys. We are melanated to a degree, in my opinion. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ anyway. So you think God is going? I just can't wait to see what you think God's gonna say to you when you say all this racist stuff and you think that you're superior than somebody else, or you blanket a certain specific race of people because of the imagery and the algorithms on social media, specifically Twitter, right? Right? Come on, guys. You guys got to do better. There's a lot of stupidness on this app, which is why I be chilling and don't be on here too much. A lot of people have opinions that don't need to be expressed, right? But anyways, you have a right. You have rights to record in public. You have a right, and a right means you have the guaranteed or the entitlement. You're entitled to freedom of speech. You're entitled to record in public. You're entitled to have a firearm or an arm in general. You're entitled to a due process of law. You can't just be taken up through there and arrested without going through. Well, you can be arrested obviously if you commit a crime, but you're supposed to have a fair and speedy trial, right? You're supposed to have a trial first and foremost. You're supposed to have a fair, a speedy trial, and you have to have due process of law, right? So that's why I said learn your rights, because if you think once they violate your rights, there's a consequence to that. There's a consequence, and y'all be letting people violate your rights, specifically the banks, specifically the police officers, specifically um, corporations, or by ignorance, right? Because a lot of people, y'all just be letting them do it, right? A lot of y'all don't even know your rights. So because you don't know your rights, they get off on you. So that's why I keep trying to tell you guys. A legal, enforceable claim or entitlement recognized by the Constitution. I don't like statues, but you can utilize it to help you, right? Statues are really for the government officials and for government agencies. Or common law. That's the common law of Jesus Christ, right? As long as you don't hurt nobody, you should be Gucci. That permits a person to act, possess, demand, or prevent without interference, right? Too many gems dropped the gate. Yep, too many gems. I definitely dropped gems in that video, so let me go ahead and reshare that real quick because y'all need to watch this. And I know the audio went out in a few spots, but still. Hit that like, share, subscribe. When you understand the power of how you can utilize God to get you up out of the situation that you're in, or utilize God and the trust to make sure you don't have to pay taxes legally, lawfully, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, when you understand that you can move your assets into the trust and nobody can take it from you, when you start to understand that you have the power to do these things and you don't do it, that's on you. And then hopefully you'll just say, it feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? For those of you guys that know Ralph Smart, that's from Ralph Smart. But God loves you. I love you. I'm getting up out of here. Hopefully you guys learned something. I try to drop something for you guys to learn about. But repetition is key. So I know that sometimes I gotta repeat things because you gotta hear it a few times, right? To get it in your head, right? Hit that like, share, subscribe. That's all I ask of you guys to do. Head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. Make sure you head over to bitcoindad.fiatdad.com. Go get the book, and that way you can support. And go read and study. That's all I want y'all to do, really. Go read and study, because right when I get off here, guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to read and study and ask ChatGPT a whole bunch of intriguing questions. The better you ask, the better questions that you ask, the better answers that you will get. So go get the book. It's only $20 on the website, or you can head over to Amazon.com and get the book on Amazon as well. So shout out to everybody that has bought the book so far or downloaded it on Kindle. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. God loves you. I love you, Bitcoin Chris. Checking out. I'll say a quick little prayer for you guys. Up, up, up. We're pumping. We're pumping. The alert went off, but my phone's on mute, so I didn't even get the alert. Not phone, but my computer's on alert. I told you guys we was flagging. I just told you guys we were flagging. I said we are flagging, and we're looking to pump. And I said I have an alert if we come down below 108, and alert if we come above 109.5. And we popped up. We're at 109.8, expecting again 115, 120, and possibly a consolidation before heading up to 120 to 130. So Bitcoin is on a tear. Bitcoin did 100x since I saw it. I saw Bitcoin at $1,000, under $1,000, and now it's at 100 and more than 100x, 110x. Right? So Bitcoin has 110x since 2016, 2017 when I first saw it. And there's still some unbelievers, right? I don't want to buy any stocks unless it's MicroStrategy, MetaPlanet, Misty. You can probably do a little bit of Nvidia. Just a little something here. If you want to diversify, but for the most part, Bitcoin is the way to go, right? You're gonna miss out on gains. You're gonna miss out on opportunities if you don't have a long enough mindset. Let's zoom out. If you don't have a long enough mindset, outlook, and delayed gratification, and time preference needs to be a lot. 2015 we're at $300. 2016 we're at $500, guys. We're at $1,000. See, I told you, 2017, $1,000. We're now at 110, basically 110. So I've seen it go through this. I went to the 20, down to the 3, right? Rolled that up, went back up to 15, down to the 10, right? Oh no, went back down to 3. Boom. That was you know what this is, C19. Boom. From there, I seen it go from 3 to 69. Boom. Double top action. We came back down. We had the blow off top, and everybody over leveraged and getting clapped up with the borrowing against your Bitcoin. So that's why I said be careful doing those things. And then we went from 15 to 110 right now. So let's go. Let's see how much that is. Boom. 5x. 566. Around 5x. And then you have clowns and people that just don't understand about money, and you just gotta be like, okay, buddy, we're gonna have fun staying wealthy while you have fun staying whatever, right? Have fun staying enslaved is the correct terminology. Hit that like, share, subscribe, comment, have fun staying wealthy. If you watch this video, if you have any, if you got any value, if I'm helped you out in any way, or if you just rock with me, you want to show some support, just leave a hashtag or just comment. Have fun staying wealthy. All right, Bitcoin Chris checking out. See you guys in the next video. Oh, last thing. If you need help getting your credit restored, click the link in the bio. If you need help setting up a trust, click the link in the bio. If you need help getting business credit to get money and capital to then invest, click the link in the bio. Right? If not, go to my YouTube channel and go watch the videos, guys. I have a ton of videos, free information that you guys can watch and learn from and see and take advantage of. You're either going to pay with your time or you're going to pay with your money. So I like to save my time. So I would rather pay the money so I can have more time. So that way I don't make mistakes. So that way I don't have to bump my head and it take even longer and I lose even more money, right? So let's just go here real quick. I got a slide. I got a slide, so I'm about to slide. But just go here, guys. Go to the lives. It's in the lives. You're not going to see really too much on the videos. I did the videos a little bit earlier in the development or in the earlier stages of this channel. But what you can do is you can go here, go to the live. I title every live and I tried to make sure I describe what I'm talking about in that video. So go and see what you want to learn about. Okay, hey, what sue him? Okay, I want to learn how to sue. Okay, what is Chris talking about in this video? Close USD 401. What's that? Boom, let's look that up. Promissory notes, improper what? Improper foreclosures, how to help people get out of foreclosures. Boom, looking that up. Let's see. Here the action. Business owners. How to save thousands of dollars as a business owner utilizing Lightning Network, incentivizing your customers to utilize Bitcoin and to have them pay using Bitcoin, so you don't got to pay the merchant processor, right? 3%, 3% of $1 million, 3.5% of $1 million, all that adds up, guys. All that adds up. Jeff Booth, taxes voluntary. Private member association went over that 4 months ago. Fraud and mortgages, loans, credit cards, all that good stuff, right? Accord and satisfaction, how to pretty much settle the debt obligation by tendering the payment, fully writing on the instrument, right? There goes for instrument, medical bill's gone, but pretty much tendering the payment, making sure that you let them know, hey, this is for full satisfaction of the debt. Boom. All right. Unit bias, boom. How to beat a foreclosure. I did this like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. What the law says, right? Not anything all this stuff ain't got nothing to do with what I think. This is all what the law says. The law, the law, the law, the law, the law. You don't got to be a lawyer or an attorney to read the law. Read the law. Read your contracts. How to read your contracts. Set up a trust. Went over this 6 months ago. You only own Bitcoin. Everything else is not yours. Boom. All this stuff, right? All this stuff. Go read. Go read. Go read. Go read. Go read. Go watch. Go read. Go watch. Go read. Go watch. Go read. Go watch. Listen to what I'm saying. Go read. Watch what I'm saying. Go read. Okay? With that being said, hit that like, share, subscribe. I need some more subscribers, guys. I need y'all to like, share, subscribe for the kid. I'm out. Peace. God loves you. I love you. See you guys later.
Yeah, I'm
Peace.
stacking them, yeah.
Riding with country bass.
Yeah, I'm stacking them, yeah.
Riding with country bass.